For number 4, we are going to add fractions. Here we have 3 over 2 plus 4 over 5. Well, what do we need first in order to add fractions? We need to make sure if they have the same denominators or not, namely the number on the bottom of the fractions. But then for the first one, the denominator is 2, and then for the second one, the denominator is 5. So we cannot add the fractions yet. We need to find the lowest common denominator first. And let's do that on the side. LCD, lowest common denominator. And to do this, we have to ask ourselves, what number can I put in right here so that 2 goes into this number and also 5 goes into that number? The answer to that is 10. Because we see that 2 goes into 10 5 times and 5 goes into 10 2 times. And now you may be wondering, how do we come with a 10 at the first place, right? In this case, we can just multiply the 2 and the 5 together. 2 times 5 gives us a 10. And it works in this case, it's because if you think about how to break down the number 2, we only have one way, namely 1 times 2. And how can we break down number 5? We also only have one way, 1 times 5. That's it. Whenever we have only one way to break down a number, these are called the prime numbers, and we can just multiply these two numbers together to get the LCD. And you can check out my other videos for the more complicated version on finding the LCD to add or subtract fractions. And now my next step is, we have to write these two fractions so that they have the same denominators, and then we can add them together. So I'm going to set this up as, this is going to be changed into something over 10, and then we will add the widths. I'll change this into something over 10. But we don't know what's on the top at the moment. Well, let's focus on the first fractions. This is how we are going to make the change. Originally, the denominator was 2, but now I need a 10. We have to ask ourselves, 2 times what will be 10? Well, we just mentioned it. 2 times 5 will be 10. So I'm going to multiply, I'm going to indicate the multiplication right here. You see we have the 2 times 5. That's how we get the 10. But then we also have to do the same operation to the top, the numerator. So we are going to do 3 times 5 as well. That's how we get a new numerator. 3 times 5 will be 15. And that's the change. Well, same idea right here for the second fraction. Look at the original fraction. The denominator is 5, but then we need a 10 right here. 5 times 4 will be 10. Well, 5 times 2 will be 10. And we multiply the same number on the top. 4 times 2 will be the new top number, the numerator. 4 times 2 is 8. That's the change. Now we have these two fractions. They have the same denominator. We can go ahead and add. And then the bottom, the denominator doesn't change though. It stays as 10. All we need to do is 15 plus 8. That will give us 23. That's how we add fractions. Just add the top number. When the denominator is the same, you keep it the same. And the answer to this will be 23 over 10. So I'll box this. And then you see that that's answer choice C right here. That's it.